All right, picture this for a second. You're standing right inside the legendary San Siro Stadium in Milan. The air is incredibly thick, the noise from over 79,000 screaming fans is just deafening, and the date is May 23rd, 2001. We're looking at a football match where the stakes are so unimaginably high and the psychological pressure so intense that the entire narrative is decided by the cruelest, most nerve-wracking mechanism in the sport, the penalty spot. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are dissecting a truly historic clash that pushed world-class athletes to their absolute mental and physical limits.
Okay, let's dive into this because I want to be clear, this wasn't just any regular final. This was an unprecedented war of attrition. You really have to ask yourself, what exactly happens when two teams, both burdened by recent, agonizing heartbreak, are suddenly forced into a sudden death situation? Only one team can find redemption, right? While the other is doomed to repeat history in literally the most painful way possible.
Section 1. A collision of broken hearts, the ghosts of finals past. So both of these European giants were walking onto the pitch haunted by some seriously fresh nightmares. Just 2 years prior, in 1999, Bayern Munich suffered what is arguably one of the most devastating last-minute collapses in football history against Manchester United. And on the flip side, Valencia had just endured a crushing defeat in the 2000 Champions League final to Real Madrid. Two phenomenal teams, both carrying the heavy trauma of falling at the absolute final hurdle. Someone was going to conquer their demons, and someone was going to be completely crushed all over again.
And you know that psychological burden? It wasn't just on the guys on the pitch. Heading into this match, Valencia's manager Hector Cooper was battling a massive personal curse. He hadn't just lost the 2000 Champions League final, he had also lost the 1999 UEFA Cup Winners' Cup final while managing Mallorca. That's 2 consecutive European final defeats. The pressure on Cooper to finally break this losing streak was practically unimaginable.
Moving right along to Section 2, enter the general, Ottmar Hitzfeld's psychological warfare.
Now, what's really interesting about this guy is his background. They called him the general, but Ottmar Hitzfeld was actually a trained mathematician. He approached the chaotic, highly emotional world of football with this cold, calculating precision. The nickname perfectly captures his calm, balanced demeanor. When the pressure skyrocketed, he didn't panic. He just calculated the odds.
His obsession with success was just absolute. For Hitzfeld, a winning mentality meant wanting to win every single game, even a random Tuesday afternoon training session. When he first took over Bayern Munich, the squad was notoriously difficult, bordering on untrainable. But he managed to mold all that chaotic energy into a highly organized, heavily focused European giant.
In fact, the German Football Association even dubbed him a reliable magician, which honestly is perhaps the most German compliment you could ever give someone. He relied on competency, authority, charisma, and absolutely crucial for this final, psychological intuitiveness. He wasn't just coaching tactics out there, he was literally stress testing his players' minds for the ultimate test of nerve.
All right, Section 3, the all-penalty final, 120 minutes of grinding tension.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how bizarre regulation time actually was. I mean, just 3 minutes in, Gaizka Mendieta scores a penalty for Valencia. Soon after that, Bayern gets their own penalty, but Mehmet Scholl's shot is miraculously saved. Then we hit the 50th minute, and guess what? Another penalty. Stefan Effenberg steps up, sends the keeper the wrong way, and scores. Think about the sheer absurdity of that for a second. All the defining action of this massive match was isolated completely to the 12-yard penalty mark.
So we're stuck at this 1-1 scoreline, and it just turns into a suffocating deadlock. Bayern absolutely dominated possession with 64% and fired off 19 shots compared to Valencia's 9, but nobody could break through in open play. They ground through 90 minutes. Then they battled through 30 agonizing minutes of golden goal extra time, where, remember, a single mistake ends the whole shebang. But the deadlock held.
Which brings us to Section 4, Sudden Death Shootout, the ultimate test of nerve.
Let's look at how this builds, because the sheer roller coaster of these first 5 kicks is wild. Bayern's Paulo Sergio skies the very first shot. Mendieta scores. Bayern is immediately staring down the barrel of defeat. But then the momentum violently swings. Players trade goals, goalkeepers pull off these gravity-defying saves. After the standard 5 kicks each, it is a dead heat, 3-3.
And boom, that triggers sudden death. One scores, one misses, and it's over. Every walk from the halfway line to the spot is just excruciating. Lizarazu scores for Bayern, Keeley answers right back for Valencia. Thomas Link finds the back of the net for Bayern. The unbearable suspense now falls squarely on the shoulders of Mauricio Pellegrino. He has to score, or the dream dies right here.
So Pellegrino steps up for the deciding kick. Bayern's legendary goalkeeper, Oliver Kahn, explodes to his right. He guesses perfectly. Kahn parries the ball away, instantly winning the most coveted trophy in European club football.
That final save cements a 5-4 shootout win for Bayern Munich. In a fraction of a second, a quarter-century wait for a European Cup is finally over for the German Giants. They have officially conquered those ghosts of 1999. But on the exact same pitch, Hector Cooper suffers his tragic third consecutive European final loss. It is such a brutal, beautiful, unforgiving game.
Let's wrap things up with Section 5, agony, ecstasy, and respect, the human element.
First off, let's talk about the historic achievement on the sidelines. Ottmar Hitzfeld's psychological mastery paid off entirely. He became only the second coach in history, after Ernst Happel, to win the European Cup with 2 different clubs, since he had previously won with Dortmund in 1997. This absolutely cemented his legacy as one of the greatest, most reliable football minds of his generation.
But so, the crucial point to take away from the aftermath isn't actually the wild celebrations. Amidst all that chaos, something incredible happened. Oliver Kahn, the man who just made the tournament-winning save, didn't run off to celebrate with his team. Instead, he saw his rival, Valencia's goalkeeper Santiago Cañizares, completely broken down in tears on the goal line. Kahn walked over and consoled him. For this profound act of empathy in the middle of a career-defining triumph, Kahn was awarded the UEFA Fair Play Award. The most enduring image of this intensely fought final wasn't just the winning save, it was an extraordinary display of humanity.
Which really leaves us with a powerful question to chew on. In the ultimate crucible of pressure, what actually defines true greatness? Is it the cold tactical math required to win the ultimate prize? Or is it the sheer humanity required to stop right in your moment of greatest glory and console the defeated? Maybe, to be a true champion, you kind of need a little bit of both. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. See you next time.